Welcome to Thrown in the Deep. My name is Abhinav Kumar and you're watching the second part of the YouTube series on IELTS, where I show you how I scored 8.5 out of 9 and how you can score that too. If you haven't watched the first video, you haven't missed much. But if you do want to watch the first video, and I'm sure you'll learn something there as well, as always, that link will be in the description. Hello, welcome to part 2. In this section, I will be mentioning the resources which I used to score the 8.5. Yeah, so let's just get into it. First, I will cover the reading and listening because the effort put into both of them is quite the same. The best resources to use, which I used, would be the Cambridge academic books. Cambridge is one of the leading universities which has their own publishing press, and every year they release a new IELTS book. And the reason why people recommend to buy the latest Cambridge IELTS book is because Cambridge authors are often the ones involved in setting the paper for the IELTS exam, so they are quite well versed with what is going to be asked. Of course, the questions will be just practice, but they will be straight out of the horse's mouth. And isn't that what you need to get to be most confident about your preparation? So what I did was I got hold of the most recent 2 editions of the Cambridge Academic IELTS book. So I think I got hold of the 14 and 15 edition, and what I did was I went through all the reading and listening passages in both the books. So that means about four passages in the first book, 4 passages in the second book. So a total of 8 listening practices, 8 reading practices, and I was all set. Now, a good reason why I would recommend you to do the listening and reading test, even if you feel fairly confident about it, is because number 1, you will get quite a bit of practice, and number 2, you will figure out what exactly they ask in the exam, because there are some things like maps that you need to interpret, which at the outset you will think that's not much of a big deal, but then when you get sentences like go to the bank of the river, or what is a conurbation, go north and take south by the wall, or things like that, it's good to just go over a few practice questions which include all types of questions that could come. So I guess when you've gone through 8 of these for listening, 8 of these for reading, you will have pretty much covered every single type of question that can come. And of course, there's the online resources available to you as well, from people who have been IELTS examiners in the past. There are websites like the IELTSLiz.com and a couple others, but I guess this would be one of the best places to begin, because IELTSLiz has a comprehensive analysis on all the 4 parts of the IELTS, and she walks you through all types of questions that can come in listening, all types of questions that can come in reading, writing, and speaking. Well, a rough overview at least. Coming to writing. Writing. So, writing part 1 and writing part 2, yeah? There are a couple of books which I recommend that you just get hold of, nothing else will make the cut. Yes, I mean nothing else will make the cut. And those books are also, wait for it, published by Cambridge. Yes, Cambridge is everywhere. Cambridge are everywhere. So the Cambridge IELTS Consultant series. So these are a bunch of small books, let's say about 60 pages at the max. These are small books which cover a wide range of domains, like there is a writing part 1 book, a writing part 2 book, which became such a good hit that they published a writing part 2. So yeah, there are 2 books for writing part 2. There is the IELTS vocabulary book, there is the IELTS grammar book. So get a hold of all of these and try to read all of them. So what happens in the writing books is they mention the question and then they follow it up with a detailed band 9 answer. There are lots of answers available online for different essays, which they say are band 9 level answers. But of course, once again, nothing better than from the horse's mouth, isn't it? So you can go and have a look at the model answers that are written and try to emulate what is there in the book in your own essays. The writing part one's book was pretty straightforward. It helped me interpret data a lot. And what I did was I would try to make small diagrams to figure out the trends, like if there is a table and there is a bunch of data in like horizontal and vertical format. Yeah, in 2010 the number of cars were 14. In 2017 the number of cars was so and so. What you can do is you can make a chart with like cars on the y-axis and year on the x-axis and plot the dots and connect the dots. In that way you can see the trend going down, going up, and then compare and contrast between two different things like number of cars versus number of scooters, things like that. So it really helps visualize the data and helps you write clear, concise, and catchy data. Well, I went into depression for that alliteration. And now I can rhyme. Oh, I'm a poet. And I didn't even know it. Writing part 2. Of course, the model essays given in the book are pretty top-notch. Followed by that, you can go over the grammar book, which is, I think, the gold mine, the absolute gold mine. There's nothing better than that grammar book. Well, apart from the other books. But yeah, the grammar book really helped me figure out which grammar is being looked for. And there's, of course, the cherry on the cake, the vocabulary book. It takes about 20 minutes for you to go over that book. And try to copy down as many words as possible into your essays. And contrary to popular belief, you don't really need to, practice many and many essays. I practiced like 5 or 6. What I invested more time in was I would look at the question, I would write my own essay, and then I would look at the model essay and compare my essay with it. Like we were talking on the same thing, and I wanted my essay to be as much like the sample band 9 essay given, while at the same time being authentic. So I used a different colored pen. I used to cut out words which I think were repetitive. I used to write down sentences from the model answer, which felt they were like too good, and things like that. So over time, I noticed that by my 5th or 6th essay, I was quite good at writing something that resembled the model 9 essay, the band 9 essay that was written in the Cambridge Consultants books. Lastly, yeah, there's still more work to go for your writing. I spent about maybe 2/3 of my preparation time in that 1 month for the writing. Yeah, so it was that important. Lastly, what you need to do is watch videos from this YouTube channel called the IELTS-Up tutorial. Well, that's how she says it. There are about 7 or 8 videos on IELTS channel. I'm surprised that the channel's kind of blown up, even though they don't upload many more videos. Again, the link will be in the description for that channel. So the advantage of that channel is that it's really clear. It really puts forth a very elaborate and succinct at the same time methods of writing model 9 essays, band 9 essays. Most of the videos on that channel are focused on writing part 1. So I guess that would be perfect for your writing preparation. Come to the last part, IELTS speaking. Now in the IELTS speaking section, the best place to prepare is years of practice, which many of us might not have. So the best place to prepare is YouTube. Yes, you heard it right, YouTube. There are dedicated channels like Keith English Academy. The link will be in the description once again. And he used to be an IELTS examiner for IELTS speaking. And he now has retired and runs a YouTube channel where he makes lots and lots of videos on IELTS speaking. He also holds an hour-long session on YouTube, on Zoom, I guess, every now and then, where you can practice as a group. And that's really helpful. Apart from this, what you need to do towards the end is it helps a bit to make guesses on what could be the topics that you need to speak on, because you will not be able to come up with a 2-minute monologue on any random topic. Yeah, that's going to be a bit hard. So there is this book published by eponymous author. The book is titled Makkar's IELTS Speaking. It's just called the Makkar IELTS book, written by Makkar herself. So this book tries to make a guess at what could be the upcoming 2-minute monologue topic trends. These extempore topics are listed in that book, and they include past topics as well as suspected upcoming topics. The pattern for the extempore changes every 3 months, so people try to make a new guest list every 3 months of the possible questions that could come. So you can have a look through it. It's a hit or miss. Luckily for me, I think the amount that I practiced speaking, I did manage to hit it, and coincidentally it was from the Makkar IELTS book. Given the fact that I did not open the Makkar IELTS book until just before my second speaking attempt, I only realized after the speaking was done that not only this, but even the first time that I had my speaking test, the topic was right out of the book. So that's a good hit. Like 100% hit. You can also go online to find random YouTube channels or Telegram channels which upload predictions for the upcoming IELTS exams. But I don't know if that can be useful really. So that's it. That's a wrap. I have a bonus tip for you. Go online and listen to a couple of YouTube videos where different IELTS academies actually have mock interviews with the candidate, and see how the interview is held over a period of 11 to 14 minutes. Keith tends to call back some of the people who have scored really high in IELTS and take interviews with them, a mock interview with them, and shows what a Model 8 or Model 9 speaking could look like. So that's it. Thank you guys for tuning in today, and I hope you learned something from this video. If you found this video helpful, you know what to do. You do, right? Please. Yeah, subscribe to the channel and press the bell button. Yeah, what did you think? Give me a like, please. Thank you. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.